All right, we are live. It is February 7th. We are doing a special Super Bowl edition of the Sharp App Power Hour. So excited to be here with you guys. Myself, Shwami, and Mitch. Coach Mitch, we are ready to rock and roll today. Um, Hopefully, you guys are too. We got a
I'm
lot of
ready.
good,
I'm ready for the Super Bowl. I'm ready. Let's get it.
yeah, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good stuff going on at the Sharp App. And
Yeah.
um, I don't know if we want to get into some of the new stuff yet, or we want to just go ahead and get started on a play for the weekend. What do you think?
Why don't we let's do a play for the weekend, get into
Okay,
the new stuff, and then we'll probably hit the sharp report and talk about our Super Bowl picks.
perfect. So we have right now. Hopefully, you guys are in our free Discord. I think Mitch will put it out there for you, but I know that we might have put it in our actual pro section in my channel, but we got a free pick right now for Xavier Worthy. If you guys want to play that with us, we got basically a free square on Underdog. So we will go ahead and put that one together today on the Proptimizer, and we'll get it started. So if you don't have Underdog, you can use my code Shwami, get up to $1,000 match and 2 free months of Sharp. So I am just pulling up the Proptimizer. I will share it with you guys, share my screen. We are adding all kinds of things right now to the Proptimizer, but we will kind of go over that after, but lots of good stuff that is new and that is coming to the Sharp app. So
yes,
it is very exciting. So let's go over here to the Proptimizer. We're gonna go ahead and filter for the NFL.
I'm here for it.
There we go. Perfect. So now I don't see some names here. I don't know if it's just me, Mitch, but how are you looking on your side?
Let me see. For Underdog?
NFL. So we just got a new data provider, which is really exciting, but also at the same time, we're trying to figure things out here on the go. So I know we are the Sharp app, and we are full go right now on the app. I don't normally work on my computer here with the Proptimizer. So
how does it look on mobile?
Let's see here. Yeah, we can show you guys this, and I can also pull it up on mobile and tell you. So we'll go ahead and do it that way. That's a good idea. Let's see.
Yeah, for some reason it's just it keeps crashing.
Huh.
We may have to pivot to the
May
old
have to pivot to
the old NBA.
Do some NBA. No worries. Well, let's do some NBA. Let's see if that works for us.
It looks like Underdog is just we're
having some issues. We might have to go over to Prize Picks. Let's see how Prize Picks looks, or DraftKings Pick 6. I think we got a Pick 6 promo today. We'll see if that works. It may be just that we started our stream and, Murphy's Law here. Because I've been doing fine all day.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe we'll head into the Sharp report.
Let's reverse it.
Yeah, we'll reverse it. If you want to get started on that, I'll pull that up, and I just want to hit up Wire Days and in the meantime, so we can hopefully get to this by the end of the show.
Yeah, so, I agree. So we can take a look at the Sharp report for today. So
menu here.
Obviously, right? we've been doing pretty good as far as coach picks recently. I wouldn't say I'm hot, but I would say that it's been a pretty good run over the past few days as far as coach picks from me, and that pretty much always comes from our either Sharp Report, Sharp AI, or our money handles tool, right? Those are kind of my big three when it comes to ensuring that we have the absolute best picks, right? And so as we are kind of going over the Sharp Report here, there are 3 columns, right? And we do this every week, but I'm going to run through it just in case there's anyone new here, right? The left column is the sharp money. The middle column are the sportsbook needs and the liabilities, and the right column. Sorry, just like almost like choked.
Wow. Yeah, the right column are the square. Yep. The squares. So.
Yep. So this is how we kind of use this report, right? So we tail the sharps, we go against the middle, and we either go against or monitor the squares. Like, I will say though, sometimes the squares do have successful days. I mean, all 3 columns have successful days sometimes, right? But yesterday the squares went 2-0 in the NBA, right? Sometimes that just happens, right? But in general, you kind of want to go against those things, because if we look at our Sharp Report tracker, right? And you don't have to pull it up. I'll run through it. If you go over through our Sharp Report tracker, what we do is we track every single piece of data that runs through the Sharp Report. We have tracked every single piece of data for the past 3 years. So you can really tell this is a tried and true method, right? For the month of January, the Sharps were up 15 units. The Sportsbook was up 37 units. That's crazy. It's the biggest anomaly I have ever seen with the Sharp Report. We never see that. Swami, can you go up to 2024 really quick and just show, like, if we're looking at the book was green once last year, right? The book was green once, and barely, right? It lost so much. And so to start off January, I had a bad January. It just was true. I had a very bad January because a lot of my picks come from that section, right? And it looks like we, hopefully we'll be getting back on track as February goes. But very, very, very random to see the sportsbook have that much success. And they ate in college basketball, and that's really what it just came down to. I mean, the squares were down 32 units as a total, right? Which is also just insane, right? And so kind of a weird start to the year, the calendar year.
Yeah. Yeah, squares were down 32. Sorry, I found it where you were talking about.
Yeah. No, you're totally good. So, it's just really interesting to see how the year has started, right? And I mean, really, we can expect the squares or the sharps to stay hot. We can expect regression from the book, and we can expect the squares to continue to be not great, right? And so if we go to the Sharp Report now,
one second here.
There's a pretty good chance that Coach Anthony will update the Sharp Report probably while we're live, right? So what you're seeing right now is not the complete Sharp Report yet. This is from about noon Eastern time. He updates the Sharp Report 3 times a day. And so this is a little outdated. Oh, the final actually just went up. This might be the final. Let me see. It is the final. Great. The final literally just went up. So I'm glad that we got that in time. So obviously not a ton of action today in the NBA. We have Phoenix. There's there's 3 sharps on that. In Cleveland, we've got 2 sharps on the over. I think that total in Cleveland is already up to 237.5 the last time that I checked. It's already risen 3 points, which is pretty massive. Pretty massive. So no liabilities and no square plays today. So that's just interesting. And then obviously, as you can see, Miami, the over was hit by 3 or more sharps, and then it was crossed off, right? Because we had a sharp come in on the other side and bet on the under then at that point. Today, your big players are going to be in college basketball. And so if you're a college basketball bettor, I am not. It's too much volume for me personally, but I know a lot of you are really high volume bettors. So college basketball is probably the way to go. And I know a lot of people find a lot of success in college basketball. Just because sometimes there's so many games, so certain lines are, not very quick to respond to movement and things like that. But essentially what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to play the opposite of Pennsylvania, Fresno State, VCU, and St. Joseph today, right? What's really interesting, though, is that in that little NFL column, there's nothing. So I'll talk a little bit about the history of this week with the Super Bowl. Now, in my betting philosophy, right, just because it's the Super Bowl does not mean you have to put 5 units on a play, right? It's just like any other game. And that's how our sharps view it too, right? So if the Chiefs were playing the Eagles in the regular season, they might not make a play on that game. As we can see, there is not a single sharp has put a bet on the Super Bowl. Now, I think there's probably a few reasons why. I think the first is that the line is pretty accurate. I think that the sharps have not really found a whole lot of wiggle room. And truthfully, in my opinion, if the sharps were going to bet on it, they would have already placed their bets on it. I think that probably would have gotten earlier in the week. That action would have been shown on the sharp report. But all week, we did have teams in the other 2 columns. So the Kansas City Chiefs were in the sportsbook liabilities, if you could believe that, right? That the book needed the Chiefs to win. And in the right column, the squares was the Eagles plus 1.5. So most of the public was on that. Now, as the week has progressed, that line has become more and more even, right? The money that we're seeing come in has become more and more even to the point where it's not really neither team is a square bet or a liability.
But if we take a look at the handles tool, the most up to date right now, which we can pair with the sharp report, we do see that just what you were saying earlier, that it's, the Philly is the public right now. The money, they're on the public, but the money is also on the public. So it looks like both are on the public. So
and I mean, if you look at the money line,
Eagles.
So all this information is within the Sharp app. So what the Sharp app does is it takes all of the major sportsbook players, right? Your FanDuels, your DraftKings, and it combines all of that money into one pool, right? And so we can see where the public is betting, right? As of right now, 56% of the money line bets are on the Chiefs, but they have less than 50% of the money, and then vice versa. So for Philly, 44% of the money line bets is on Philly, with 58% of the money on that play. So transparently, my criteria when it comes to the money handles tool is I want to see less than 40% of the bets on a certain team, but more than 60% of the money on a team, right? And so to me, that shows me that we see potential sharp public money, right? Which has been wildly successful throughout my tenure at the Sharp app, right?
And we're getting close to that.
We are getting very close to that on Philly. Now,
Yep. Money line. Yeah.
on the money line.
Mhm.
Now, what I will say also is this, though. Our Sharp AI is among the best that I have ever seen. That's going to disappoint a lot of people.
Yeah.
So our Sharp AI for the Super Bowl is projecting that the predicted spread should be Kansas City -4.5. That's a lot. That's a big difference, especially if you bet a team on the money line, right? If you bet Kansas City on the money line, you're getting 4.5 points of, or really 4 points of value there, right? If you look at the total right now is sitting around 48.5. Pretty much every single book is at 48.5. Our AI says it should be at 51. That should be the total. So if you were religious to our AI, which there are a lot of people that are, you're betting on the Chiefs and you're taking the over. Shwami, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Uh,
I am not a Chiefs fan, but it's tough, man. I think the Sharp AI is if I were to predict the game, I tried last game with the Chiefs,
uh,
and they got me
yep,
by I got hooked against
yep,
Bills, right? I had the
yep.
plus 3, I think is what I got up. Maybe it was plus
It
two
was
and a
plus two
half,
and a half.
and
Yeah,
then the game ended up being the
yep.
Chiefs by
Ended up being
3.
three.
So, it's one of those things where it's just like you want to go against Mahomes, most of us do, yeah, I'm cracking my knuckles, dumb XP, while I'm talking about it because I want to go against him, but I just can't, so I can't do it, man. It's where I like my money more than
Yeah,
I dislike Mahomes, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
I
kind
mean, so
of where I'm at.
just some advice on the Super Bowl. Personally, I would not bet on the spread. I don't think that there's a point, right? And I mean, you even see like ESPN bet is at is at a pick 'em. Like you can't even bet on the spread because it's that close, right? Um, and actually on ESPN bet, they actually favor by 0.5 the Eagles, right? Like I think it's the only book that has that. But I mean, on a place like ESPN Bet or on DraftKings, so DraftKings has Kansas City -120, FanDuel has -116, um, Caesars has -115. Like to me, there is quite a bit of I love that. Look at that. Look at what you can do, my friends, is you can put all of your books together to find the absolute best line. So do you go against the 60% money? It's gonna kill me. If look, it's not at my criteria yet. So I won't feel bad about going against it. But I'm gonna bet on the Chiefs. Yeah. I'm gonna bet on the Chiefs. I'm not going to put it in until probably closer to game time because I want to see if I bet on the Chiefs, it'll be on ESPN bet at that -110.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Circa has it at -120, right? Which is one of the sharpest books around, right? Yeah, I'm going to bet on the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. Now,
Yeah.
I also think that this Eagles team is much better than 2 years ago. I really, really do. I think that they are much better than 2 years ago, right? It was 2 years ago. That's when these two teams played in the Super Bowl.
I believe so. I
Because
believe
last year was
so.
the Niners. I think the year before that was the Eagles.
Yeah, because I don't think Jalen Hurts. I mean, how long has he been in the league even? But
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
But and to me, if I'm throwing all of my betting strategy out the window,
yeah, 38 to 35.
okay,
That was the
high scoring game.
yeah, yeah,
Now I know the Eagles have Saquon. Saquon is an animal, and he adds an element that the Chiefs have not seen, right? But like to me, Chris Jones is the best player on the Chiefs, and that defensive line with Karlaftis and Chris Jones, like they are so good. And I don't think they're gonna be able to stop Saquon Barkley. It's in this offensive line. This offensive line is very good for the Eagles, but um, I,
I think they're going to shut down AJ Brown.
I think so
He's
too.
been shown that that he
Yeah,
can kind of
and
block.
they're not gonna get beat over the top either with
Yeah,
Devontae Smith, right? Or Devonta Smith. Like
yeah.
that's not
I
gonna
think it's
happen.
going to be I think Goddard
I was
is
gonna
kind
say
of where the weak spot is, right?
I think so too,
So
and I think that a lot of people see that or know that, and the Chiefs know that, right? The Chiefs know
yeah,
that. Like,
yeah. And that's what
but
happens too at this point,
yeah,
at this point in the season. And yeah, these teams play each other in the Super Bowl, so teams know each other, and but you can do all the X's and O's you want, but that's it is what it is, right?
yeah.
It's
And,
that's how it's going to happen, I
and
think. So
I'll also say too, if it's a close game with which every sports book is projecting it to be, do you trust Andy Reid or do you trust Nick Sirianni? Come on now,
right, right.
right? Like it's gotta be Andy Reid. There's the Nick Sirianni will find a way to waffle this if if it happens, right? If it's close. Now,
Hey, he's still gotten to the Super Bowl,
oh, for sure. He right now, I think I saw something that he's like
Yeah,
the winningest coach in NFL history percentage wise or something like that, right? Like
yeah.
he ever since he's come into the league, he's absolutely won, right? So he's not a bad coach, but I think he's a little fraudulent, just a little bit fraudulent, right? Um, now, I mean, if you look at the total, Shwami, do you want to pull up the total really quick too? We can talk about what type of game we think this thing's going to be.
Yeah, help me out
Go
here.
to filter. Yep, and then mark it. Yep, and then total. There you go.
There we
Yep.
go.
So every book has it at 48.5. Every single one. The last time they played, very high scoring, right? But I've seen a lot of talking heads on Twitter and on Instagram talking about how this is going to be a really low scoring game.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. But I've also heard that it's going to be a fast-paced game too. So that kind of, that could lead to being um, more scoring, if it's fast-paced, right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I mean, look, to me, this game comes down to is Jalen Hurts going to turn the ball over? Because if Jalen Hurts turns the ball over, I think that this game goes over, right? Because the Chiefs are not a like quote unquote fast paced team, right? They are not someone that runs a whole lot of hurry up, right? They will in moments, right? Um, but the Eagles are very fast paced, even though they run the ball a lot, right? They run the ball and they snap the ball pretty quickly. So
yeah, yeah, and they run up to the line of scrimmage with the tush push too. I
yep,
mean, it's not, they know what they're going to do, and
they do.
then they execute it.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think that the Chiefs are going to be able to stop that either,
Uh-uh.
right? I mean, no one's been able to stop that. So,
No,
you know,
and so these two plays are very, very basic, but if I had to pick for both of them, I'm taking the over and I'm taking the Chiefs. And I know that's probably like I said, that's a very basic answer, but I trust in our AI, and I think that I want to see points. really true is part of it too. Like I want this to be a fun, like high scoring game, like the last one was. And I don't want it to be like whatever Super Bowl that was, the was it Patriots Rams, that was like 7-0 at half or something like that.
Yeah.
Whenever that was. Let's not hope.
Yeah,
for
that's no fun.
No fun. G-Mang said that A.J. Brown's the best wide receiver against man. You know what, though? The Chiefs know that, though, right? Like, even if they primarily, like, this is what like, always is so hard about player props, right? And kind of the world of player props is like any statistic that anyone on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter is telling you is something that the Chiefs and Eagles know, right? Like the Chiefs have to know that they're bad against tight ends, and that Dallas Goedert is probably going to be open, right? Like it's just about how is Coach Spags going to go against that, right? Or are they going to let Dallas Goedert kind of run free and they're going to shut down the others, right? So it's so hard to know what the game plan is going to be, especially in a game like the Super Bowl where they've had 2 weeks to prepare, right? And analytics teams that have been preparing for 3 or 4 weeks, right? Like, just in case they got to this point, right? Especially a team like the Chiefs. Like, it pissed me off when, didn't actually piss me off, but it pissed me off when the Chiefs posted their quote unquote annual Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl photo, right? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm hedging my happiness.
That's actually a good idea.
I'm happy to give a donation to the sports books if the Eagles win.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That's if I am betting on the game, that's how I'm going to do it. I don't know that I can actually lay money on Kermit, but I will. I may pass on it, but if I did, that's what I would do. I may just stick with my props. Stick with some Goddard props or something.
Chiefs first half, Eagles second half. It's so hard. I don't know. Look, I would actually flip it personally. Like, I think that if here, I'll say this. If the Eagles are up by 14 or more points going into the fourth quarter, I think the Eagles will win. Anything below that, I would still bank on Patty and our Zebras to figure and make this thing closer than it should be, right? Frogger must go down. I agree with you. I agree.
That was the first video game I ever played on the Apple One back in like 1983. That was great.
Yeah, I know the Chiefs. They are not as much of a scoring team in the second half, but they're
going to keep them. Yeah, they know that it's going to end up being like your man against my man. Like we said, like with Dallas Goedert, it's going to be the matchup there, and like how, are you going to be able to contain him, and are you going to be able to like contain Saquon Barkley at all? Is he going to go for 200 yards? Like he's going to need. I think they're going to need like Saquon Barkley to have a 200-yard game to win.
Or close to it.
Close to it. Yeah, something like that. And then on the Chiefs side, I mean, what they just have so many weapons. They have so many options. I mean, does Kelsey really need to have a great game? No. Look at Worthy. Like he's been, Kareem Hunt.
He has Kareem Hunt has gotten. I would not even touch Isaiah Pacheco, right? Like he's got 10 carries in the postseason. I think Kareem Hunt has 25 or something like that, right? Like,
yeah, he's more explosive right now. I mean, he's breaking tackles. Pacheco just doesn't look like he's up to game speed as all, yet.
Yeah.
And do you roll the dice in the Super Bowl? I don't know. And that's
Maybe.
Andy Reid. You maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying if you're the coach, like if you
Yeah.
know Andy Reid, we'll see what happens. I mean, he's gonna know
And
better
they've
than
had
you
2
with
weeks,
2 weeks. Yeah, exactly. So it
right?
could be a player prop at some plus money or something like that.
Maybe.
Some Pacheco props,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be surprised if it swings the other way, right? Like, and they end up leaning on Pacheco more than Kareem Hunt because the Eagles are game planning for Kareem Hunt. Like they're two very different running backs, right? And yeah, give us an anytime touchdown. That's not Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, you guys can in the chat as well.
Yeah, I want to see
Travis, I
where
mean,
what are we gonna do? What are we
we
putting
got,
our money on?
we got Travis. Yeah, Travis is always a good one. Let's go. Let's go. Noah Gray.
Ooh, ooh,
Let's
that's a
go
good
Noah
pull.
Gray. I don't know what the money, what the anytime TD props are on Noah Gray, but I mean, he's been a touchdown like
Yeah,
he's been eaten. Yeah, for sure. The tight ends, but I think Noah Gray has looked really good.
Noah Gray's best odds is at plus 550. Most sports books are plus 500 for Noah Gray.
Nice. So
Mine would be so I actually took this. DraftKings had a happy hour for either Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts to score a touchdown, plus 100. So I took it. It's pretty
nice.
good odds,
Yeah,
right? Like,
that's really good. I mean,
I mean,
Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
within 2 yards of the if they're on the line, I
Yeah,
mean, it's within 2 yards. I mean,
they're not giving it to Barkley.
yeah, I
Like,
can guarantee.
yeah. So,
So
so I took that. I mean, I know that's a very basic answer, but I would go Jalen Hurts. I think that, and obviously whatever the juice is on Saquon, I haven't even looked because it's not worth taking. Whatever it is, like, and
yeah,
I would actually, is Saquon Barkley going to score in this game? Probably, but I know so many people that just use Saquon as like a filler for like a parlay or something like that. Like, I would just be a little weary of that, right? Because you would hate to win one leg and then not get it on what you think is a for sure touchdown,
yeah. I
right?
mean, what do you think the Chiefs have been game planning
Come on.
on 2 weeks? I
Yeah.
mean, the last 2 weeks have they been worried about Dallas Goedert or have they been worried about Saquon Barkley? Right? I mean, come on. So
Uh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but there was another prop that was interesting that I saw on the touchback.
Oh, yeah.
The touchback for a punt touchback was plus 130. So both punters, and then I started to dive deep into the punters. Both punters are the highest touchback rate in the league, like 1 and 2,
Wow.
but it's plus 130
Huh.
for just one touchback on a punt. So I don't know.
Interesting.
It's just kind of interesting that there's
I
some
mean,
interesting
so
props out there.
when I read that, that
Yeah.
tells me that if a team is near the 50, they are getting points. That's what the sportsbook is saying, right? Like right? They're not going to get shut down at the 50,
Well, I think, yeah, it's basically saying, yeah, yeah, right,
right? Like, I mean, obviously, punters are better than ever nowadays, right? So they can pin it where they need to, but
right.
it's an
I would
interesting.
think they would punt it and not want somebody to. It's interesting to me that it's at plus money because I would think in the Super Bowl specifically, like that's something that you can't have happen is
No,
somebody running it back,
no,
So I would think you would want to just kick it. I mean, I guess, you always want to pin them, right? But
sure,
um, I would just think you would be very, very cautious, and it could be easy for it to roll into the end zone because I would rather have that happen than somebody run it back, on
yeah,
a punt return.
yeah.
So
All right. It looks like all the logs are still down for all the different. Let's see.
We do have the top props tool
We
that
do.
we can pull up. So why don't
We
we
have the top props, and it looks
I
like
have it.
Sleeper might be working as well.
Okay. So we can pull up. Let's see. We're going to pull up the Proptimizer. I'm just going to pull up a couple here, see what we can do. I don't know. We got prize picks for the most part. Everybody's there. Underdog. Let's see. I know they were just sending out a fix right now.
Yeah.
I emailed them, and it looks like for the most part everybody in green right here. So we might have something here on Underdog.
Okay.
To play with. So let's roll.
Hey, I'll really quickly, while we have, almost 90 people here, I just want to say, if you are at all thinking about Sharp Pro, now is the time to do it. We've added over 100. We have over 120 sports books available through the Sharp app. We are actually closing in on.
I think over 170 now.
I was going to say it's closing in on 200. Yeah. Right? Total sports books, including fantasy books.
20 plus fantasy now. We got Dabble, we got Better Picks, we got it's so crazy. I might have to start doing Twitch streams again, because now once this stuff is up full go, and if we have them all, like, and we have Vivid Picks, we have Owner's Box even. Yeah. I'm like, man, this is sweet. So this is my wheelhouse, baby.
Yeah. And the best part is, obviously right now we have 9 Proptimizers. We will be adding Proptimizers for virtually every single fantasy app.
Yep.
Right. Where you're going to be able to get the absolute best props, no matter what the sport is, across every single fantasy app or pickup market, no matter what it is. That is insane to me. There's no other company, organization, product that is going to be able to give you the top props across every single pick-up market that you have access to, right?
I didn't know there was a Dabble Australia, but we have.
Like, no matter where you're from, we have access to those books, and we have access to Proptimizers that are going to push that forward. And so that is something that is, hopefully coming down the pipeline within the next month or so, to get all of those Proptimizers online. We had to make a quick pivot because our data provider just kind of shut down, or said, hey, we're going to start shutting down. So we had to migrate over to our already planned data provider. And so, there was a little bit of a hiccup, and obviously we're still in beta, right? So things
we still got the discount. We still got the discount.
I know. I didn't get that. I was saving it for the end.
Oh, my bad.
But the best part about it is this is the best price it's going to be at for a very long time, forever, right? And the only way that you're going to get that best price is if you DM Shwami, you DM myself, and we're going to give you a 20% discount on whatever, either your yearly, your monthly, whatever you choose is the best avenue for you, right?
Yeah, this is the best time, guys, because these have been added. And we are in beta, so that's why we're still giving the discount, because as you can see, we're still going through it, but we are on the up and up. And I think Domexby, I think Big Play got taken out of Slay's name. I think it's just Slay for a pick now. I think he's no longer Big Play, but hey, you never know. He could do it. So yeah, let's roll over to Underdog. I've actually, just to finish that up, I've actually had more people subscribe and stuff now than ever. So definitely get the discount link from us, because it's wild how many we have, and I love it.
And
So I
the easiest way to access us is through our Discord,
through
right?
Discord.
That's
Yeah.
the easiest way. So I'll put it back into um, our little chat here is Discord. Uh,
And the
there's the
first,
invite. Okay, come on in
yep.
and go ahead and shoot one of us a DM, and we'll take care of you.
And the first play I think I like here, Mitch, is going to be Jahan Dotson. I mean, for a reception, just
Uh-huh.
I don't know if the player logs are up, but yeah, they are. Cool. So 4 out of last 5 here. They're gonna obviously we know who they're gonna focus on.
Yep,
So I think we roll over to
I agree.
underdog and
Yep.
put that in as a first play. And
We're just looking for 2,
um,
right?
yeah, we just need we could do 2 or 3, whatever
Okay.
we have in the green
Yeah.
over 54%. There's some people that have asked recently what we're looking for. So we're looking for over 54%. That's kind of the profitable way to bet on,
Yeah.
the Sharp app, or is what you want, and that's why we put that in the green there. So let's go ahead and take a look at play number 2. It looks like numbers are a little crossed with the Sharp app projection for Isaiah Pacheco. So not loving that. I think we kind of spoke on that too, about the 2 weeks and kind of how he's looking. We don't know, right? So
Yeah.
that's not the greatest thing. Tackles for Nolan Smith. I don't know. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, we may have to take some tackles here. If we don't want to take Xavier Worthy under receptions, we're going to have to take some tackles. So what do you think about Xavier Worthy under 5.5 receptions? It looks like it's heavily juiced under on the sports books, and Sharp app projection is 5.17. Sports books is 5.4, and then we got over that 54%, chance to hit as
Yeah, I
well.
mean, the thing about the Chiefs is that they have so many weapons, and Xavier Worthy has emerged as a wide receiver 1, right? He really has.
Yeah.
But I think that the Eagles know that. Like, I think that the Eagles know who Patrick Mahomes is trying to get the ball to. And it's not Hollywood Brown, right? It's Xavier Worthy.
Right.
And so, it's I guess in our head, do we think that the Chiefs are going to try and get the ball in his hand as much as possible because he's so fast, because he's dynamic?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that something that the Eagles will better game plan for and say, you know what? Kelsey beat us. Hollywood Brown beat us, right? Like, I think yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's tough. That's a tough one. I
Yeah.
mean, so, um, but all signs are pointing towards the
Okay.
under. I would honestly rather, and it's not on the Proptimizer, but this is a Super Bowl special, and you get Schwami's take,
Love
which is
that.
a very special take. And uh, we'll actually, we can show you some wins after this in the Discord, but
Yeah.
um, I can go with something. I'll take your thoughts on it, but what about, because I've been rolling with this basically all year, and every time I've played it, I've won.
Mm.
It's Xavier Worthy over rushing yards. Now it is up to 6.5 yards, because it was up to 3.5 against the Bills, and he smashed that number.
Yep.
But I mean, they, like you said, getting it in this guy's hands, and I mean,
I think
six and
that
a half yards. That's like, what do you
Andy
think about that?
Reid and this offense is going to have to be creative. They're going to have to be dynamic, and they're going to have to do things that throw off the defense. And I think that any way that the Chiefs can get the ball in Xavier Worthy's hands is what they're going to do. So
Right.
I love the over 6.5. I think that's a great play.
Or we could even take it at a, I didn't realize that you can take it at a 0.76 if you wanted to. But so here's the play we're doing though. So Mitch said you said you like it.
I do.
I say we take it at the 6.5 because this is a no sweat bet we got going on too.
Mm,
So we might as well swing for it, right?
yeah. Yeah. I think 6.5 is definitely doable. Obviously, you worry about him getting tackled in the backfield,
Yeah,
right?
what has
Like
happened?
that, and it does happen.
He's had like a
Absolutely.
minus 15-yard game
I
or
know,
something like that, you know. Yeah.
but I like it.
Yeah, so if we look at the last five, right? Denver, I don't think he played, but yeah, and Houston, yeah, he had a big loss, I think, and
Mhm.
that negated, you know, so he had a minus 8-yard game. But if he's going over, he's cleared that 6.5,
If
you know.
he's going over, he will get over 6.5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
I
if he's going to be positive, it will be over 6.5.
Yeah. So let's roll with it. So
Yep.
that's pick number two. Now we don't have a ton of plays on the Proptimizer, so that's
Mhm.
kind of where we're going with our own picks here. So we're getting over triple digits on the stream. So we're gonna have to, but yeah, let's see if we can pull another one out for
Yeah.
the people because we're doing our no sweat bets up to $15 on Underdog right now, and we do like to do a three pick. It kind of gives you the best odds here on Underdog. So let's roll, and it's no sweat, so we get our money
Mhm.
back anyway. Um, but I don't necessarily see anything else besides defense that that works here. Is there anything else, any other props that you've been looking at on
You
this
know, in one
or
that I
cat?
that I see, and
Mhm.
obviously, like I said, or like you said in the chat, let us know what you're seeing. But one of the first one that's not green, right at 53.5 is Devonta Smith over
Mhm.
50.5. Our
Yeah,
sharp app projection is at 60.
yeah.
I don't know how.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
make this bet because the
Mm-mm.
projection is so high, right? Like it, I mean, and obviously like the 50.5, that's a way better number than we're getting at the books, right? Most books have it at 52.5. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. That's interesting to me as well.
It's
That's a
just
little
such a
bit
big projection discrepancy,
right.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that one's I would fade that, and it's
I
kind of
agree.
on that line anyway. So I think that I think it's a fade for
I do
Devonta
too.
Smith, you
I do
know.
too.
So I definitely think, I mean, he's the type of guy though that could get one catch and take care of that though,
Yep.
right? I
Yep.
mean, could be the
Yep.
first play of the game and he takes care
Absolutely.
of that, but it's definitely risky.
Yeah.
So so we got those two. Now what do we think about let's just head over to Underdog and we'll take a look at a couple of things.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do we think about Travis Kelce? Let's pull his what do we think he's going to do?
Mm.
Um, so he really has not, you know, uh, performed very
Well, even
well,
if you scroll up a little
right?
bit,
I'm just
they I see the longest reception at
longest reception,
19 and a
19.5.
half.
Yeah. I was listening today to Michael Irvin,
Yeah.
and he was saying that they are going to what they need to do is they need to jam him at the line. That's what they did against him, and I think they did against him in one Super Bowl, and that tired him out because he said that that was kind of their plan, and they left the top open. They had two guys, and they were jamming him at the line, and it really tired him out. But you know, he was thinking they were going to do that to Kelce, kind of wear him down, and then leave. you know, kind of not have a safety over the top
Yeah.
there of him, but which could be risky. So,
Yeah.
you know, but I mean, I could, I could, so I could kind of see that happening. I mean, they're gonna obviously be leaning over towards Xavier Worthy, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
Yeah, I don't know.
But 6.5 receptions is high too. But it's hard. It's like Mahomes. It's like, do you go, you know, do you go against Kelsey, you know?
I mean, his girlfriend, it's in the box. She's in the box.
Right? Yeah.
And I hate doing touchdowns too. It's hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially.
I'm not a huge fan of touchdowns either. So he's got 8.5 targets on the board here. I just want to pull up on Prize Picks to see if we have any, because that's kind of what I've done throughout the year, and it's been, yeah. So they're at 8 on Prize Picks. So he's had in the last 5 games. So Kelsey's had 4 targets. He only had 4 targets in Buffalo. Crazy. And then 8 against Houston. So that was the 2 playoff games, right? He has not had more than 8 targets. And then against Pittsburgh on Christmas, he had 11. And then the 2 games before that, he had 7 and 8. So, you know, that could be a potential one. I don't know.
Like 7 receptions is a lot.
Right?
It's a lot.
It is a lot. That's out
of all the plays that I'm seeing on here, I think that's the play I like the most.
Yeah, I think I like it as well. I know it's Kelsey, but there's so many weapons on the team, you know? Yeah. So many weapons, and he's gonna be a big part. I mean, he's gonna be a big part of the Eagles' defensive game plan. So I say we roll with that.
I do too. I know y'all might be mad at us for that, but it's just the truth. Like I'm not gonna do this, but I really am the type of person to like take Saquon Barkley under rushing yards because I hate fun, right? Like I hate going against, or I love going against public perceptions, right? Like, and this is a public perception, like that they're gonna feed Travis Kelce. The Eagles have had 2 weeks to think about that, right? Yeah. Like, I like it.
Yeah, and I already said I think it's going to be, you know, I could definitely, I mean, it's plus 500, but I like it. If I'm going to throw $10 or $20 on a prop, on a touchdown prop, I'm going to go with like a Noah Gray or something. Yeah. You know, for fun, right? Yeah. So we locked it in, boys and girls. Jahan Dotson over half a reception, Xavier Worthy over 6.5 rush yards, and then Travis Kelce lower than 6.5 receptions. That's our Super Bowl prop underdog play, no sweat bet. So again, if you don't have it, you can use my code Schwami and then get 2 months free of Sharp app. A couple $100 value there.
Come on, how do you not take that? How do you not take that?
I don't know. You're gonna, yeah. I mean, they give you a match too. It's crazy. So let's close this out. Rolling over to our Discord, we'll look at some wins that Mitch has been putting out. I've got some wins. I mean, we've been crushing it on the props. I don't know if you've seen Mitch, but we've been doing pretty well. Yeah. Also, it's been nice. So let's see here. That was. We'll go over to the free picks, and then you can tell me where, your stuff is. But we got some free picks that we've put out today already for Vivid. We got Joel Embiid discount here, so I put out a play for that. And then Chet Holmgren is back tonight, so they got him discounted on Better. But if you're with us last night, and if you weren't, then hey, get with the program. But we had Steph Curry, and this was just live, so he's obviously scored a lot more than 20 5 points, but we had the Proptimizer play with Anthony Edwards under 4.5 turnovers, so we cashed on better. And then on Underdog, we put this play out, which was 59% boost, I believe. Kyrie Irving under assists, Derek White over, and then Michael Porter over on rebounds. So, and then our Prize Picks play yesterday, we hit that one. Of course, we got a nice little Prize Picks boost yesterday, and we played the Michael Porter dunks, and he had 2 or 3 yesterday.
Yeah, he went off last night.
Yeah, he's been playing well. So, man, that was by the way, that was pulled pretty soon after I put out the play. So, you know,
they're on to you.
Yeah, I mean, well, what happens, you know, is people start to, you know, they've caught on to our Discord. So if you're not on to our Discord, then you might want to get there pretty quickly, because
we have over almost 8,000 people in our Sharp App Discord that are getting these plays.
Yeah, right. They got their notifications on.
Yep.
You know, Mitch is taking a nap with the baby, and I'm blowing him up. So, so this play we hit, but the discount didn't hit. So, Christian Braun assists, and then LeBron James, and those were just some of the free picks that we put out yesterday. And then we'll go over to our
in coaches picks. We've had a ton of plays, whether it's from Schwan or stats, whether it's from Anthony. Like, Anthony was red hot in January. He stayed red hot in February. I am a very low volume better, right? So I think I can tell you, I have made 8 bets in the month of February. That's it, just 8. And we're 6-2 to start the month, right? So feeling pretty darn good about that. We've had a couple nights of sweeps, and then obviously I'll get my NBA plays out later today. It's a small slate, so we'll see kind of what comes with that. I'm eyeing the Heat and Nets under. That's something that I've kind of got my eye on. I'm going to continue to monitor it before game time. But I am I'm ready for this weekend, and I'm ready for the Super Bowl. You will see a Chiefs pick probably somewhere in there.
Nice.
Over the next 2 days or so. So we'll see. But let's be clear here. It's not go Chiefs.
No.
It is not go Chiefs.
It's a hedge.
It's a hedge.
Yeah.
It's a happiness hedge. Absolutely.
So here's another freebie if you want. This is the pro play that I put out. I'll be putting out more plays myself, but for the other better discount, we've been smashing better, but I don't know if it's still even a play. No, see, they pulled it, or they bumped it up to 10.5 points plus rebounds. So for Duncan Robinson. So that's why you want to be a pro, because we literally, with the new format that we have, it shows you like, hey, better has this at 9.5 and it's nowhere else. So why would you not take it? You know, that's literally, it's pretty much what it told me to do. So I did it, you know.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so pretty cool stuff. And then it gets bumped because, you know, the line's off and we're notified by the Sharp App Proptimizer. So really cool stuff there. Yep. And we have a ton of wins, you know, and the pro channel there if we scrolled up, but we've hit 6 o'clock here. So just wanted to show you guys that, because we're crushing it, man.
Yep.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a great football season. I'm sad for it to end. It's always a little bittersweet when the football season ends, but
7 months, man, until we get more football in.
Well, and you know, I'm a sucker for the MLB. I really, really am. I'm a sucker for the MLB. So
yeah.
So we'll see.
Excited.
Yeah. We'll see. But enjoy it. Go eat all the buffalo chicken dip in the world and get some wings and
Fly, Eagles, fly. Come on, baby.
go
Come
Chiefs
on.
with an asterisk next to it. Like,
Come on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's go, Jalen. Yeah.
And hey, this is my petition to make the Monday after the Super Bowl a national holiday. There,
Yeah.
you can put me in that column. Please put my signature in that column, please.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Well, I hope that pick wins that we put together, and I hope your all your guys' bets wins, especially the Eagles ones. But
Yep.
have a fun weekend. Be safe, everybody.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
See ya.